Okay, welcome to the virtual college exploration for all North and South Carolina students. This is sponsored by the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers, as well as StriveScan. So thank you so much for joining us. Just a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions out to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. And this is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at CACRAO.org. This presentation is going to be recorded and will be available within a week at that same website at CACRAO.org. But now I'd like to turn it over to your amazing presenters. So y'all are more than welcome to share your screen.
Hello everyone. Thank you for joining and welcome to the Senior Timeline, your GPS to College presentation session. Again, thank you for joining, and we'll go ahead and start with introductions. And I'll go ahead and go in the present screen. So my name is Tiana Thompson. I'm an admissions counselor at Erskine College. I graduated from Erskine in 2016 with a biology degree. And then I also graduated from Columbia College in 2020 with my master's in higher education. And I've been working at Erskine for 2 years now.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Naomi Israel, and I'm from Spartanburg Methodist College. I'm an admissions counselor here, and I've been at SMC since October. I graduated in 2017 from UNC Charlotte, so I'm not an alumni of SMC, but I've really fallen in love with the homey feeling that SMC has for both students and staff members.
Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth Brown and I am representing Winthrop University today as one of our admissions counselors there. I did graduate from Winthrop in 2019 and have been working there ever since.
Hi, I'm Molly Tippett. I work for Western Carolina University. I graduated at Western Carolina in 2008, actually left for a while and then came back. So I have been here in the admissions capacity since 2014.
Hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Hannah Taylor and I am representing Kennesaw State University. I graduated from Kennesaw in 2017, hooty hoo, and I'm super excited to be working here now as an admissions counselor.
And lastly, hi everybody, I'm Carlisha Maddox. I'm representing Lenoir-Rhyne University today. I am a two-time LR graduate. I finished my master's in 2018 and I've been here ever since.
So now that we've gone through introductions, I just want to get started. G.P.S stands for Get Prepared Sooner. So we do want to make sure that you are prepared for the college journey that you are on and that you have everything that you need to move forward. So for the month of September, which this is the month that we're in, so that means that you should be doing these things now or have already started doing these things. First off is to find a place to organize your information, having a calendar, a planner, a notepad, anything that helps you write down information, organize it, you will definitely need that. Second, create a list of schools. Make sure that if you already know what schools you're interested in, go ahead and write those down. Make sure that you research and collect information. Maybe there is a school that you don't know about, but they have the major that you're interested in. Make sure you write that down. Big Future on the College Board website is a great resource for you to use, just so you can have all of those written down and you can see it for yourself. Check for specific deadlines. So there are different deadlines. Rolling admission means that there is no hard deadline. Applications are accepted pretty much all year round. So if a school has rolling admissions, that means that you can apply anytime. Priority admissions, that just means that a college sets a certain date for when applications are given most consideration. So that is when colleges are looking at applications during a certain time. This is non-binding, so you don't have to attend the college if you're not admitted. Early decision, the D is demanding. So with early decision, that just means that you apply to the school early. You are making an agreement with the school that if you are accepted, you will attend the school. Now you can only apply to one school, early decision, but you can apply to other schools, regular admission. However, with this tag, if you are accepted to that school that you applied early decision, you have to go to that school and you have to withdraw your other applications. So only do that if you are 100% sure that you want to go to that school and you are going, because remember the D is demanding. And then early action, the plan is non-binding. So this just means that you apply early by a certain deadline, and then you'll receive an early acceptance or an early response to your application, but you do not have to commit to that college or go to that college. So once you write all that information down, collect all your information, you find out what deadlines they have, start on those applications. Go ahead and start them, go ahead and complete them, look for fee waivers, just go ahead and have your essays and everything written out for the application just so you can get those done. Register for standard testing, so go ahead and register for the ACT and SAT. Also find out if schools are accepting testing or not. And then once you go through all of this, make sure that you communicate with your school counselor and your guidance counselor. Make sure that you talk with them, you ask questions, and they know where you are in the process and what you're doing.
All right, everyone. So the month of October, so you've started your applications, and now what you need to do is start the FAFSA. So this stands for the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. And essentially what you do in this, it does include your parents' tax information. So make sure you do communicate with your parents and get all of that information ready so you can start and complete the FAFSA. Most institutions do recommend that you complete the FAFSA sooner rather than later because aid is typically given out on a first come, first served basis. So definitely make sure you start this and finish it as soon as you can. And the next step for you guys in October is going to be to visit some of these colleges that you have applied to if you haven't already. Visits will look a little bit different this year. You can either go virtually or in person to some institutions. Definitely check that out before you register for your visit or before you go to the intended school. You don't want to show up to the school when it's a virtual visit and then you're on campus. So definitely make sure you read all of the emails that are sent to you so you do what is required. And then in October, you're also going to complete some things for your application, so some supplemental materials. One of these is going to be your college essay. Not all colleges require an essay, so don't write an essay if you don't have to, but definitely make sure that you do write one if one is required. You're also going to ask for those recommendation letters in October, whether it be from a teacher, a guidance counselor, a dance teacher, a coach, whomever. Just make sure you do ask for those recommendation letters because you do want to give those individuals an adequate amount of time to complete these recommendation letters. So overall in the month of October, you're just going to be doing a lot of supplemental things for your applications that you have already completed.
All right, so then we come to November and December. So this is going to be when those early action deadlines, those early decision application deadlines are going to be coming up. A lot of them are November 1st or 2nd, November 15th. I would definitely suggest making a calendar and writing down the dates so that you know exactly when those early actions are due. Continue researching those colleges because even though you may have those early actions in, it's not going to hurt to research some other schools, put in some other applications, you know, just to make sure that you have your bases covered, which leads me into the next one. Continue completing applications for regular decision deadlines. So you're going to research those schools, you're going to fill out some more applications, and then the next part, we're wanting to register for the standardized testing again if you need to retake it. Now, I'm aware that standardized testing this year may be a little tricky, but I strongly suggest that you try to register for one, even if it's not required necessarily for a school. And we'll talk a little bit about our individual schools and what that's looking like a little bit later. But, you know, it's good to get registered. It's good to try to take it just so that you have that to kind of supplement your application, even if it's not required. And then start looking for scholarships. So you finished early action applications. A lot of schools are going to have their scholarship applications open. Go ahead and do that. And then we have some outside resources for you here. It's never going to hurt you to apply for scholarships. I always encourage students, it's never too small of an amount. A lot of people will not apply for those $250 scholarships, those $100 scholarships, those $500 scholarships, and they add up. So we've got some resources here. FastWeb, Niche, Scholarships, and Raise Me. Those are all excellent resources for you guys to use to apply for some outside scholarships.
Okay, so January is a super important month because you will be coming back from your winter breaks. And this is a really good time to kind of regroup, and this will be your last semester in high school. So you really want to take into consideration, you know, those next steps at this time. So the first place I recommend to begin is to check your email. Make sure there's nothing from the colleges that you have missed in your fall semester. A lot of us have portals where you applied, and then some of us have an additional portal where you will act after you've been accepted. So you just want to make sure that you're asking about those. And also, you know, if you have questions, reach out to your admissions counselor, understand what you need to do when. So keep in contact with your schools. I can't say that enough. So if you did test in October, November, December, it's a good chance by this time your scores are in. So if you need to resend test scores to any of your schools or any updated materials, if your GPA went up significantly from the fall semester, you may want to send an updated transcript, especially for the more competitive schools that you're applying to. And so that's very important. And this time is a great opportunity for you to start looking for additional scholarships. So the scholarships that we talked about on the last slide are more national scholarships, or maybe some of them are state scholarships. This is a time to compile your list of local scholarships. And a great resource to use is your school counselor. A lot of times they're connected with the community. They know what's available. If you're a part of any local clubs or organizations, your parents are a part of clubs or organizations, check with them and see what's available. Also employers. So your employer, your parents' employer, and churches are also another great resource for local scholarships. So I always encourage students to apply that way, just because that takes your applicant pool from national level to that local level. So, you know, they're not as competitive as some of the national scholarships. You also, FAFSA opened in October. If you haven't completed your FAFSA yet, this is a great time to go ahead and do that. And if you need assistance, a lot of the times you can reach out to somebody at your school or somebody at the college, and they can kind of assist you with any questions you have about your FAFSA. And if you have submitted your FAFSA, this is also the time when colleges start releasing financial aid offers. So you may not have them yet, but they are coming. And so you want to know where to look for that when it comes, because that's going to give you a much better understanding of how much it's actually going to cost you to go to some of those institutions. And at this time, you may have received decisions from some of the schools you applied to back in, you know, October. And if they're not looking the way you want, or you want some other options, there are still a ton of schools during January that are accepting applications from students. And a lot of the larger schools haven't reached their final deadline either. So apply to different schools as you need to. It never hurts to have too many schools that you've applied to.
Awesome. So when we reach February and March, it's when it gets really exciting. So around this time, you're receiving those acceptance letters, and financial aid award letters will begin to come at this time too. So a financial aid award letter is just a letter from a university or institution that you applied to that is explaining the monetary assistance that they're able to provide. So once you have those acceptances and you understand what financial assistance you're getting from the universities or institutions, you can really start narrowing down your list of prospective colleges and universities and make some decisions. We wanted to add here too that while this is super exciting, don't forget to stay focused on your studies. A lot of schools do require you to send a final transcript after you graduate. So that last semester of school is still really important. So keep chugging on till that graduation.
So here we are, we've gotten to April and May. Again, we're going to continue to push scholarships because there is no such thing as too much free money. So continue to look for those national, state, and local scholarships. Reach out to your high school counselors, reach out to your enrollment counselors at the different institutions and see what all is out there and available to you, because we want to make sure that you have all of the resources that you need to make sure that you're prepared for this investment that you're making into your future. Decision day. You're going to hear this from a few different institutions, and sometimes it might even be labeled as May 1st, the national decision deadline. And this is not necessarily always a hard deadline. Of course, if you still need some additional time to compare all of your options before making that choice, you are more than welcome to do so. We will never rush you into making a decision you don't want to make. But once you are prepared to do so, you are going to go ahead and let that institution know. In most cases, 9 times out of 10, you're going to go ahead and submit an enrollment deposit. And what that does is secure your place at that institution. Depending on where you're going, a portion may cover housing and another portion may cover institutional course fees, or it may just secure your seat in general. So always make sure you touch bases with the school to see what that does for you. And then you're also going to decline offers. I promise this is not going to kill any of the institutions that you're deciding not to go to. We completely understand every place is not going to be the perfect fit for you, and we understand that. But we want to know so that we can go ahead and take you off the list, because I promise you're going to continue to hear from us, get phone calls, text messages, emails. So just go ahead and let those institutions know, so that you can go ahead and be taken off of the list, and then making sure that you're prepared for where it is that you are going and not getting a lot of additional information that you don't need anymore. This will also be the time to request all of those final documents. So your final high school transcripts, if those are put into place, of course, all final grades aren't going to be set in stone until the end of your school year and you've graduated, and we understand that, but make sure you let your high school counselor know, hey, this is where I need these documents sent. If you are dual enrolled and taking any courses at a community college or any other accredited institution in your area, make sure you have those final transcripts sent as well, so that schools can make sure they evaluate you properly and you're not retaking courses that you do not need to take again. And some additional requirements that are going to come with submitting your decision and your enrollment deposit, that may be registering for orientation, whatever that looks like at different institutions, submitting health documents, housing documents, any other additional materials. So that's where keeping in contact with your admissions counselor is going to come into play. You can't ask too many questions. You're not bothering us, anything like that. That's what we're here for, to make sure you guys are set to go. So come in the fall. We don't need anything else from you, but just to move on in.
All right, so now we've gone through the months, everything that you should be doing for each month and should be mindful of. Hopefully that was a lot of information and some good information for you moving forward. Now we're going to move into some college specific information. We just want to broadcast each of our schools just so you can get some information from us. And if you're interested, we're going to have our information at the end so that you can contact us with any questions that we do not answer, or if you have any questions following up later. So with Erskine College, we are a private Christian liberal arts college We're located in Due West, South Carolina, so that's close to the Greenwood, Greenville, Anderson area. We're kind of like in the middle. We have about 800 students in all, so we are a small school. Small school means more personalized, a more personalized experience. We do have rolling admission, so we don't have any hard set deadlines. So you can apply throughout the year if you'd like. We do have testing requirements. So ACT would be a 19 as the mean or median range of testing. SAT would be a 990 and the CLT would be a 69. Now, again, we know that ACT and SAT have been having a few issues. We do offer the CLT as another alternative, and that is called the Classic Learning Test. That is a test that is proctored online, and it is given from the comfort of your home. So if you are interested in that, that is another alternative that you can use, and you can apply at apply.erskine.edu.
All right, everyone. So my name is Elizabeth Brown, and I am representing Winthrop, and we are a public comprehensive liberal arts university. We are located in Rock Hill, South Carolina, so just about 20 minutes south of Charlotte. So right there on the North and South Carolina border. We do have two different deadlines for our students for the application. Our first deadline is November 1st. This is not an early decision deadline. It is not binding. It's just our early action deadline. And students who do apply before November 1st will receive their decision in December. Then we do have another decision date in the spring, February 1st, and then students will receive the decision a little later on in February. February 1st is also our scholarship deadline. So for students who do apply before February 1st, they will automatically be considered for scholarships. There is no separate application for those. And for our North Carolina students out there, if you do receive one of these scholarships, you will receive an out-of-state tuition waiver as well. So definitely make sure you do apply before this February deadline. That way you can get in for those scholarships. And then after February 1st, we do operate on rolling admissions until classes do start in August. So after February 1st, it's okay if you haven't started your application, you still have time to get in. And then our average GPA is a 3.98 for our in-state students. It is a little bit different for North Carolina just because you do operate on a different scale. And then our average SAT is a 1087, and then the ACT is a 22. Keep in mind, these are our averages, so we do admit students with both higher and lower criteria.
Okay, so Western Carolina University is where I am, and we are a public university in North Carolina. We're part of the UNC system. We are a North Carolina Promise School, which is the reduction in tuition for in and out of state students. And if you go to ncpromise.com, that'll give you a little more information. But basically, if you're an in-state student, tuition's $500 a semester. If you're out of state, it's $2,500 a semester. Now, that is not total cost. That is just tuition. We are located in the Blue Ridge Mountains in Cullowhee, North Carolina. We have an early action deadline of November 15th, which is coming up. I strongly encourage students to try to apply for that deadline, because then you will definitely get your decision in December. And that also helps us merit-based scholarships, honors college admission, as well as our scholarship application, which is due February 1st. So you want to go ahead and have that acceptance before you apply for those scholarships. Our final deadline is February 1st, which coincides with our scholarship deadline as well. We have the SAT and the ACT is technically waived for the 2021 application year. However, as I talked about just a little bit earlier, we do still strongly encourage you to try to take that when and if you can, because it does help with honors college and scholarship opportunities for us. Our average GPA is a 3.8 weighted and a 3.4 unweighted. And our average test scores are around a 23 composite on the ACT and an 1150 on the SAT. Now, again, those are all averages, so that doesn't mean if you have below that, you won't get in. We use a holistic approach when students apply, so we're going to look at everything, including how you've done in your entire high school career, that kind of thing. We try to be fair and take everything into consideration. And finally, our link, I have it up in that corner, is apply.wcu.edu. And also our hard deadline for accepting your decision is May 1st for us. All right, thank you.
Sorry, I muted myself. Okay, so hi everyone. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Spartanburg Methodist College. We are a small private Christian school located in Spartanburg, South Carolina. However, we do not require any of our students to participate in religious services if they do not want to. We have a free application and no test scores required, and that is something new that we're offering for this admission cycle. We have an August 1st, 2021 preferred deadline. So as Erskine said, we operate on rolling admissions. And when you apply, you are also, and submit your FAFSA, you are also considered for any scholarships that we may offer. We have 14 in JCAA Division I athletics. So we are a part of the junior college division for athletics, and we have both men and women's sports. We have about 1025 total enrollment. So we don't really plan to grow that enrollment in the next couple of years. We want to stay around 1,000 students. We have 2- and 4-year degree options. All of our freshmen come in as associate's degree seeking students, and we have 6 of those associate's degrees. So you can come in, earn your associate's degree and transfer, or you can stay for our bachelor's program. And the best scholarship that we offer is a full tuition scholarship for South Carolina graduates that graduate with a 3.0 or higher. And so that is not the same for North Carolina students, but it's definitely a great opportunity. And if you're on the cusp, so right now, if you have like a 2.8 GPA, definitely strive to get it above a 3.0 just so you can be eligible for that scholarship. So you can apply online at smcsc.edu/apply, and you will see my contact information at the end of this presentation if you have any questions.
All right, so Kennesaw State University is a large public university. It's located just 30 minutes outside of the city of Atlanta. So we are an out-of-state option. We are home to nearly 41,000 students, and we have over 150 undergraduate degrees. Our students live on 2 separate campuses. So we have our Kennesaw and our Marietta campus, but both are just a 30-minute drive to the city. We are a part of the NCAA Division I athletics program. We have 18 varsity sports teams, including football, baseball, soccer, all the things. Our top majors are nursing, biology, psychology, engineering, and education. And we are also SAT, ACT test optional for the 2021 school year. So that did provide a little change in our admissions process. Now, if you are applying with test scores, you have to meet a 2.5 GPA requirement, and without test scores, it's a 2.6. Our priority admissions deadline is November 2nd. So we highly encourage students to apply by this deadline. This gives you the first option at housing, scholarships, all that stuff. So we really encourage you to apply by November 2nd, but if you don't, that final admissions deadline is June 1st. I've put our link to apply, and you can also learn more about KSU and our admissions requirements at that website shared there below.
Hi again. So again, Lenoir-Rhyne University, we are a small private Lutheran affiliated liberal arts institution. Our main campus is located here in Hickory, North Carolina. We're about 45 minutes to an hour outside of Boone, if you're familiar with where that is, or Charlotte, for some students to make that just a little bit easier because everyone knows where Charlotte is. We also have 2 additional campuses, one in Asheville, North Carolina, and one in Columbia, South Carolina. Those house some of our graduate programs, as well as our seminary for students that are interested in that opportunity. Our undergraduate population goes up to about 1,550. Our first year class from this past year was about 482 students, so kind of relatively on the smaller side. Your average class size is about a 13:1 student professor ratio, so that gives you that opportunity to have that intimate kind of feel in the classroom, so you get to answer all of your questions, ask all your questions, but we're also going to notice if you are not there. So make sure you're going to class. We are a Division II university. We have 23 intercollegiate teams on our campus, 12 of them women, 11 men. So we'll have all of the basic things that you can think about with the exception of field hockey. So there's no field hockey. Sorry, guys. We are also test optional for the 2021 school year. Our minimum GPA requirement is a 2.75, but again, if you don't happen to meet that, we do consider other optional items such as resumes, recommendation letters, personal statements, all of those things. So make sure you kind of keep in contact with me or any of the other lovely counselors here in our office to assist. And I've also added the link right below for our application. We do have 2 early notification deadlines. Both of those are non-binding. Our first is October 16th and our second is November 13th. And after both of those deadlines pass, we also go on rolling admissions. So there's never too late of a time to apply, but with the earlier decision deadlines, you do have that option of being considered for a few more scholarship opportunities here at the university.
All right, so thank you everyone for giving a little more information about your schools. I hope that this was very helpful to you all. Now we are going to go into the questions to see what questions that you guys have asked us and see what other questions we can possibly answer for you. While we do the questions, I will go ahead and put our contact information up. That way you can go ahead and jot it down or take a picture or wait till this comes out just so you can contact us and get in touch with us. But while we're doing that, we'll go ahead and see what questions you guys may have.
Okay, so the first, if some of the schools that require ACT and SAT want to answer this, the question is, what is the average ACT and SAT test score for students that go to college?
So it's probably going to vary depending on the school. I know for Western, ours was a 23 composite on the ACT and an 1150 on the SAT. But that's going to be different for every single school. What I would suggest is just researching the schools you're interested in and giving them a contact to find out what they're looking for.
Okay, so the next question is directed at Erskine. So what is the CLT?
All right, so again, the CLT is called the Classic Learning Test. It's like the ACT and it's like the SAT, except it is a different company, but it is given 100% online in the comfort of your home. They've been doing it since they started. So they know what they're doing, but it's just another alternative, another test that you can take that we accept besides the ACT and the SAT. Easiest way to find out more information about it is to Google just CLT test or CLT exam, and then the page will come up and you'll be able to see registration dates, information, practice tests, everything that you need for the test.
Okay, so our next question is, what virtual events might you have during the student's senior year? Things like open houses.
And this is just LR in general. Again, of course, you're going to have to research the different institutions that you're looking into. But with LR, we do have a few different virtual events, open house events that are coming up. There's a couple that are directed towards our Latino students that are interested in coming to LR. We have a Discover LR event, which helps you learn a little bit more about the university itself, and also kind of a college 101 as well. Again, learning a little bit more about the general process of going to school and getting you prepared, and then of course having some additional information from us. but that'll also give you an opportunity not only to speak with the different staff that's here, but different faculty members and different departments on campus. So you'll still kind of get that full college visit experience, but of course from the comfort of your home. We also offer daily campus visits. Of course, there are a few regulations in place due to COVID, and then we also offer virtual campus visits as well.
I would
I'm gonna-
definitely suggest going to, I'm sorry.
No, you're
I would
good.
definitely suggest going to the website and seeing what each school has. And I know with us, we're not doing in person yet, but you can sign up to be one of the first ones to get notified when we start offering that.
I'm going to hop in as well. So we are offering virtual open houses, First Look Fridays, and Saturday visits for students. Our Saturday visits do have an in-person and a virtual option. So whichever one is more comfortable to you, you can definitely choose. We are limiting space in our Saturday visits in person. So if you are interested in that, definitely sign up. Our September one is already full. So definitely look at those if you are interested. And just like Lenoir-Rhyne, we are offering sessions as well for specific students. So for our first gen students, our LGBTQ communities, things like that, we are offering different sessions for specific students as well.
Okay, if nobody else wants to answer that, I'll kind of touch on it for SMC. So we are offering in-person tours. We do them Monday through Friday, and you can sign up on our website for those tours. And they are limited to one person or one family. So you will be getting a personal tour of SMC if you decide to visit. And anything else that happens throughout the semester, definitely check our website, as it's already been stated, just to know what's going on. And then I'll go into the next question. So the favorite place for students to hang out on and off campus. So I will answer that for SMC, and then I'll let the other schools answer as well. So some of our favorite spots are our Ballard Center. So this is SMC centric around professional development, and this is our center of professional development on campus. And so students can go in there. I love the walls in our Ballard Center. You can write on them and kind of brainstorm, and it's really a classroom space sometimes, but students really get to hang out in there, and I really enjoy that. And Spartanburg is actually home to 7 other colleges and universities. So Spartanburg is kind of a cool place to be. So I'll let the other schools answer as well.
I'll hop in. At Kennesaw State University, my favorite place on our campus is our campus green. There's always so much happening there, even now, if it's a socially distanced yoga class or a live jazz band playing while you walk to your classes. It's really, really fun, and there's always something happening there. Off campus, when life goes back to normal, we are so close to the Atlanta Braves Stadium. Our Falcons play right down the road, as well as our Atlanta United soccer team. So there's so many events to be going to and things to get involved in. You'll never be bored, and you'll always have things to do.
I'll answer for Erskine. So we are in the country area. So our favorite, or at least my favorite place, is the centermost part of campus, which is a mall. Students like to have picnics and have hanging their hammocks in the trees, and they like to be outdoors in that area. We also, our student center is a big spot for students on campus. Off campus, like I said, we are in the middle. So we're like 25 minutes from Greenwood, about an hour from Greenville, an hour from Columbia. We're 45 minutes from Anderson. So we're kind of in the middle. So off campus, kind of choose where you want to go. And there's plenty to do in each of these cities.
Okay, so at Western, we are also pretty rural. So we're in the mountains, so a lot of people love to go hiking and biking and, you know, get out there and enjoy the outdoor activities. So hanging out on the river is not a crazy thing. A lot of people love to go whitewater rafting or tubing. Also, we do have like a solar garden where people hang, you know, their hammocks, and you can charge your phone, and they love that. We also have the University Center and the lawn there that a lot of people hang out on as well.
All right, and I'll answer for Winthrop. So at Winthrop, we do have a lake near campus. So a lot of students do go to the lake, hang out over there. It is near our Coliseum, so it's a lot of fun for students over there. There's a walking trail, a lot of stuff to do in nature. And if you're an outgoing person interested in, doing kind of whatever, we do have a lot of stuff in our Rock Hill community. And if you can't find it in Rock Hill, Charlotte's just a 20-minute drive and you'll definitely find it there.
And I guess I can answer really quickly for Lenoir-Rhyne. So again, we're located in Hickory, and like I said, that's kind of pretty central to a lot of larger cities. So Charlotte, Asheville, Boone. So if you want to go to the city or if you want to go hiking, you kind of got both options if you want to take a small little day trip. But here on campus, I want to say my favorite place, and I know a lot of students would agree as well, would be just our campus courtyard as well as our campus student center. So there are a lot of different events that will go on in the courtyard area. A lot of different organizations like to host events out in that space. Of course, now with COVID, we're social distancing when we're having all of these events, but that would be the best place on campus for sure.
Okay, so the next question is, how is the food and living accommodations on your campus? So we want to quickly go through for each school.
I'll start us off really quickly. Kennesaw State University is actually ranked 5th in the nation for our dining. So really, really good. I'll keep it short because we're running out of time, but fried chicken Thursdays is a must.
Okay, so we have tons of options at Western. We've got Chick-fil-A, we've got Moe's, we've got Which, we've got a Panera, a Panda Express. We do not have Panera. I wish. We also have an Einstein's and a couple Starbucks, as well as your more traditional kind of dining and a Steak and Shake. And our living accommodations, they're building new residence halls all the time. We just had a brand new freshman hall open last year. That's really nice.
I'll go ahead and jump in really quickly. So food on campus, we recently put in a Chick-fil-A, so our students are really, really excited about that. We also have a sandwich shack here on campus, as well as the cafeteria, which I think is great. Stir fry is my favorite thing to go to, and then ice cream right afterwards. So I haven't heard any complaints, so that's always great. And then of course, downtown area isn't far, so there are a lot of options off campus as well. We've recently added in a new housing unit within the last couple of years. They are for our upperclassmen, so sorry guys, but the other options that we do have on campus are very nice as well.
I'll jump in. At Erskine downtown, we have Subway, an Italian restaurant, a local donut shop that also does lunch. Our dining hall was just renovated the last year, so that's updated. We have a grill on campus. A lot of colleges have really great food, and it's not mama's home cooking, but it's still really good. So just take it in wherever you go.
And I'll hop in real fast. So we do have 8 different residence halls on campus for our students to choose from. And you can decide how you want to live in your residence hall, whether it be suite, traditional, or apartment style. And we do have a cafeteria, your normal buffet style that you see. And then we do also have a food court area with things like Chick-fil-A.
So I will kind of wrap us up here. At SMC, we have, now Tiana said home cooking. Now we just internalized all of our dining services. So they're doing a really good job in providing really high quality food for our students. So that has been definitely a transformation this year, and we're super excited about that. And we have 7 different residence halls on campus.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to share my screen real quick. But thank you all for joining us. Whenever you close this window, there's going to be a link to a very quick 4-question survey, and we'd appreciate any feedback that you guys have for us. Also, whenever, this is just one of our many sessions that we have available right now that are currently going on. If you want to see any additional sessions that you want to register for, feel free to visit CACRAO.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find this presentation and this session recording, as well as the other session recordings at CACRAO.org. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a great day.